my hungries, it's Miella Threescoopes, and welcome back to Let's Talking VTuber Space. Okay, once again, I am not going to be beating around the bush about this topic, which, by the way, has been exploding on my Twitter timeline like another nuclear bomb. Like always, whenever something happens in the VTuber space. Oh boy, is this one a lot more explosive than the normal average drama tweet, because it's happening in two different spaces. We're not just talking about the VTuber space, but for the in-real live streamers and the VTuber space, there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of backlash from what Ironmouse said about her interaction with those boys. Now, I've already watched the clip, and I have already gathered my thoughts on it. So let's rewatch it together.
Oh, is that that's Ironmouse. Oh, what's the word? Oh, what's the word?
Hey, Ironmouse!
How you doing? Post me. Oh, wait, where you at?
What?
Where you at?
I'm at my house.
Oh, okay.
Ironmouse, you are a legend. Yo!
Thank you.
What's up?
What's up?
Wait, quick question. Never mind, I don't feel me.
Yeah,
Never mind.
no questions out of you today.
Yeah.
No questions out of you.
Yeah.
Say anything you want.
Okay, bet.
Okay, I got a question.
How you look in real life?
Whoa. That is
I'm not
everything?
in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, ugly. That's why I'm a VTuber, duh.
Ah, you're right.
I got a question. Are you black or white?
I'm Latino. I'm Puerto Rican.
Whoa! Caloque.
Is Peanut technically a VTuber or not?
The rest of the clip is about Bird Peanut being a real VTuber or not, but we could totally skip that. I've already talked about that. Now let's be dead serious for a moment. You have two completely different streaming spheres interacting with each other, and they've got pretty big names tied to them. And then it turns out one side admits to feeling extremely uncomfortable to the point where she starts shaking during said interaction. All along, you could just imagine the type of explosive reaction the VTuber sphere side would have for someone who as big as Ironmouse. The part about her shaking from said interaction, by the way, is where a lot of her criticism is mostly coming from. I will talk more about that later. Now, these two boys, who I have personally never heard of before, but apparently they're supposed to be friends, I think, of big-time streamer Kai Sinet, who I've only learned about when Ironmouse was able to temporarily beat his sub record on Twitch. I don't pay too much close attention to in-real-life face streamers, because I'm obviously more in the VTuber spectrum. Now, let's keep that piece of information in mind while I rewatch Ironmouse's confession clip.
And a lot of people were saying that I also saw a tweet about me talking to Rakai and Ray. And a lot of people were saying that I'm basically trying to appeal to people, appease people, in with people. Yeah, I'm bending over backwards for people, which that is so untrue. You have no idea. You have no idea what I went through in that moment. So let me explain to you. And I'm here with Rob, and we're walking, getting ready to go to our seats, and I get rushed by Rakai and Ray. I was very uncomfortable to the point where I was shaking because I already knew that I was gonna get asked something terrible. I knew that they were gonna say something rude to me.
Wait, if that's the case, then why did you... Hold on, just pause for a moment there. Why did you say they could ask you anything they want? Remember when that dude hesitated?
Wait, quick question. Never mind, I don't feel me.
Yeah,
Never mind.
no questions out of you today. No questions out of you.
Yeah.
Say anything you want.
Okay, bet.
My assumption is the very question he hesitated on asking her is exactly the question he asked her, the very same question he wasn't supposed to ask her. But then she goes and says that. Remember how the other guys reacted to it?
Okay, I got a question.
How you look in real life?
Whoa. That is
I'm not
everything?
in real life.
Yeah.
Stop. Whoa. Stop.
Bruh, you should have retracted your question at that moment. First off, I would like to say from a recent tweet that I made, you need to make your boundaries clear if someone is stepping out of line. If they fail to understand afterwards, then they're the real problem. I can understand being misunderstood, quote-unquote, ask me anything you want, but at the same time, her mistake was not being honest from the get-go. while her mistake was saying that afterwards. That one guy who I think goes by the name Rakai? No, wait, that one is Ray. That one is Rakai. Was not listening to what the other guys were saying. Maybe I should not have asked this. Like, oh, never mind. Forget my question. That would have been the most courteous thing to do when you notice the guys around you are like, whoa, stop. Like, take a hit. I also like to point out how a lot of the in real life face streamers didn't seem to have pointed out that little detail in the clip. Oh, I can't wait to start playing a lot of what the people have been saying about Ironmouse's reaction, which I totally get. Yes, she definitely could have handled that situation a lot more better, especially considering she is the adult in that situation. I'll dive into my own personal thoughts later, but for now... Okay, so she makes it clear that she wasn't trying to fit in with them, but rather she forced it. Like I said, she wasn't being honest from the get-go. At first, I really thought she was trying so hard to fit in when I listened to that clip. I'm like, what are you saying? But then, it turns out, it really is forced. Rather than being honest from the get-go, she just forced it. I guess to be nice? But what was with her proposition afterwards about, oh, you can ask me anything you want? That does not make any sense to me. Why would you say that to them? Wouldn't you want this conversation to just end as quickly as possible? Like, if you claim, like, if you think, like, if you believe that they're going to be rude to you from the get-go, you already believe that, even though, well, you heard her. She doesn't really have a reason to believe it. She just felt it in her gut because of how a majority of in-real-life streamers consider VTubers.
Because I already knew that I was going to get asked something terrible. I knew that they were going to say something rude to me. Because I just know. I know it. Because I'm used to it. Because I already know what people think.
Well, to be fair about that one, you really shouldn't be making quick assumptions. From what I've seen in that clip, it just seemed like they were really hyped with their energy. Now, I'm just making some assumptions of my own, from my own gut instinct, at least from that clip alone. If they did plan to be rude, I highly doubt one of them would say something like this.
Ironmouse, you are a legend. Yeah!
Again, just my own assumption. I can't see what's inside their heads. Now here is where I'm going to start throwing in my own 2 cents. Like I said I would do earlier. Like how she added she was even shaking from that interaction. That's where a lot of her negative criticism is stemming from, even from people in the VTuber space. To the average person, including those with a lot more thicker skin, would say she's totally overreacting. And you know what? Yes, she is. To a degree. No, I said to a degree. Because for those who actually do know Ironmouse, we're all well aware that her medical condition prevents her from ever going outside. Now, stay with me, especially those who feel annoyed because I get it, yes, she's a grown woman who was talking with 2 much younger boys from the safety of her own house. They didn't really do anything wrong to her to the point where I'm sure a lot of us have experienced a lot more worse. The world can't be bubble wrapped for her. I get that. Jumping back to my same tweet, I speak as someone who used to be just as sensitive as her, to the point where I would start crying and shaking from getting overwhelmed by clueless dumb as a kid fresh out of high school at the time. But my experiences with the outside world over the years have changed that. She clearly doesn't have that experience even if she's the adult in the situation, so I can't fault her too much. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? Now, I'm by no means trying to baby her whatsoever, but experiences is what shapes the person and who and how much they can actually handle, if you know what I mean. People can argue that she's probably critically online almost 24/7 considering her circumstances, and if she so claims that she could just laugh off other type of criticism and whatnot, and how is she shaking from an experience like this? Like I said, I personally find it hard to believe what she's saying at all nowadays. It personally doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe she's just trying to save face. Maybe she's trying to look like she's not as sensitive as she actually is. You're more than free to believe what you want. I personally think she just could have handled the situation a lot more better. Both parties anyway. I'm just choosing to be much more empathetic and logical at the same time. I'm not trying to be biased whatsoever. I'm taking nobody's side for this because obviously, apparently it's not. Both parties have made their fair share of mistakes, and everybody makes them, but we all know what the streamer sphere is like for both sides. Streamers like to take things way out of proportion because You know why? Clout content!
And then I got rushed by ghetto Blackabugs, Ray and Rakai, and I knew my life was in danger.
Hi, Ironmouse. It is so good to see you here.
And then I felt so uncomfortable, even though I'm on my iPad in bed hundreds of miles away from them.
Ironmouse, me and Ray just think you're such a legend. It's an honor to meet you.
I was shaking so much. I didn't know if they had weapons or something. They could have just threw the iPad on the ground and cracked the screen open. I was so scared.
So me and Ray were just wondering, what do you look like in real life? It's okay if you don't want to answer though. No pressure, no pressure.
Because I just know.
Why? Because they're black? Because they're black? Well, and one is an Asian that wants to be black? Is that what the reason is? You're saying that you were judging them before they even opened their mouth.
Yeah, I did see that coming, considering that she didn't really give any solid reason as to why she had that gut instinct in the first place, besides claiming that, oh, it's just the majority of how people are in their real life face streaming circle. But she didn't really specify it. I get what she was saying, which is pretty true. They are pretty judgmental about VTubers. I mean, Twitch clearly doesn't like VTubers. The people at the Streamer Awards don't really take us seriously. So then, what's giving her help? I could totally understand her perspective from there. But of course, people are gonna go towards the racism route. I'm guessing they've never heard of the whole, oh, all VTubers are 40-year-old men hiding behind a streaming avatar shtick, and are more likely just reacting to this because it's become super popular in its topic, without doing their homework first. I'm guessing they've never heard of her when she did a full live collab with Kai Cenat himself after she temporarily beat him on that record. And then, of course, that old clip resurfaced. People are now rewatching the moment differently after she later spoke about feeling uncomfortable at the Streamer Awards after party involving Rakai and Ray. I don't know about you, Hungries, but it looked like they were having a lot of fun during that collab. Kai was having fun, Ironmouse was having fun. It was a very wholesome stream overall. From what I've seen. He was pretty cool for doing that with her. Now for Rakai, just from that clip alone, I can tell he has a lot of energy. There's a huge difference between the two of them, too. Check out this comment. To be fair, Kai is humble and friendly. Rakai is notorious for being a nuisance streamer, highly controversial. Guess what? Both of them had reacted to Ironmouse saying that she was uncomfortable interacting with them that whole entire time. Well, let's see what Rakai has to say about that.
I was very uncomfortable to the point where I was shaking because I already knew that I was going to get asked something terrible. I knew that they were going to say something rude to me.
I'm gonna stop it right there. Be for real. I'm saying it for the rest of the day, bro. Be for real, my nigga. How the hell? How the hell you feel uncomfortable if you're not even... Homie, just chill, bro. Let me chill, bro. All right, let me talk about. Let me chill. Actually, stop. Yeah, chill. Alright, yo, yeah, bro. I'm kidding about, bro. How the hell are you uncomfortable when literally she told us, she said, ask me anything. She said, ask me anything, bro. And listen, I came to her because I actually look up to Ironmouse, okay? I say, yo, Ironmouse, you're a legend, bro. You're a legend. So how the hell do you feel uncomfortable, bro? You feel me? Girl, be honest. If you was really uncomfortable, excuse me, I don't want to talk no more. Feel me?
Well, speaking as your elder here, and from my own past observations, it would seem rude if she were to turn away, you know what I mean? That would still spark a controversy, like, oh, why did she leave? Why did she not want to talk to them? It would still cause a controversy because... Back to my most recent tweet again. It will provide a quick summary. I saw that clip, Ironmouse. I speak as a fellow VTuber. Instead of trying to fit in with their level of energy, why didn't you just tell those boys, quote unquote, except I don't feel comfortable answering questions like that. That's too personal. And if you didn't know, and I highly doubt they did, I have a severe medical condition and I'd rather not talk about it. but you went with going with the flow, quote unquote. In other words, she would be in hot water either way. That's it. It was just at that moment she decided to go with the flow rather than setting her boundaries and speaking up. She answered them with dumb answers. And in other words, that was just her way to cope. He's right about one thing. She should have just spoken up. That's it. But she went along with it just to be nice, and look what it turned out to. In her own words, when she said they rushed her, when you're at the Streamer Awards, I don't know what she's expecting. Like, of course people are going to be approaching you. You're in that type of crowd. You're definitely going outside your comfort zone. Like, have you guys seen what these in real life streamers do? They're basically trying to make content everywhere they go. So that's something you should definitely expect when you're roaming around there, even if it's just through an iPad. Oh, speaking of which, that's another source of criticism people are giving Ironmouse. This all happened through an iPad, from her point of view, so...
Anyways, moving on. I don't understand why we're treating Ironmouse like she's a child. I don't understand why we're treating Ironmouse like she couldn't have defended herself or like she didn't have an out. I think this whole culture of being overprotective of women and claiming that they're like brain dead, defenseless retards does a lot more harm than good and actually causes a lot of men a lot of issues when every interaction with a man and a woman is underneath the fucking magnifying glass trying to figure out, was she uncomfortable? Did he go within 5 inches of her? Did he make eye contact with anything below the neck? I'm pretty sure that was rape, guys. Like, can we all just calm down with this shit?
Yeah, he's way extreme. There's just a lot of people done and pissed off about a lot of other people's BS over the years, and you know what? It's not too surprising. There's a lot of people who are not willing to share their thoughts without any personal, deep-rooted anger involved, and I totally get that. But I think we can all agree that Ironmouse should have just handled the situation a lot more better. I'm sorry to say. If she says that she just laps off all of the other type of criticism she receives and whatnot, how could she shake from something like this? I don't know. It does not make any sense to me. She's obviously not thick-skinned at all if an interaction like that is enough to leave her shaking, which puts her at a very huge disadvantage of being up there in the streaming sphere. A lot of people say if she does not have thick skin, she should not be up there. Otherwise, things could go horribly wrong, and this is just one of them. Look what's happening between the two streaming spheres now. It's a lot worse than it was before, and I'm going to just flat out say that. It's true. Now it's a lot more worse than before because she didn't choose to PR herself correctly. You would think with someone of her audience size, she would choose her words a lot more carefully during a live stream, but she didn't. And now people are just going to nitpick her mistakes and call her out on it. People make mistakes. What can I say? I'm not perfect, but the internet is brutal. And to end this off, let's listen to what, what's his name again? Ray says towards the end of Ironmouse's statement. Ray says he is apologetic toward Ironmouse, but wants nothing to do with her again, does not want to meet her, and does not want to watch clips of her ever again.
Yo, my Ironmouse, I still apologize for making you uncomfortable. At the end of the day, I hope you're doing good at your home, and I hope you getting better, okay? Everything is straight positive. Ironmouse, we like you. You're cool. You're a cool person, and I just hope. Calm down. Hold on. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, bro. At the end of the day, it's still love, bro. The streaming world is still love, bro. But next time, I don't want to see you, okay? I don't want to see you again. This is all I gotta say, bro. Whoever clip, please send no more clips of Ironmouse in my chat. And I will not react to anything Ironmouse, and I will not watch an Ironmouse stream. I will not react to anything clip, any Ironmouse clip. I mean, I just did, but after the whole shitload, I will not react to any clip of Ironmouse. And I'll be, oh, shout out to you, Ironmouse. You're a very cool person, bro. And I apologize for making you uncomfortable. Okay?
Okay, just listening to him, I don't think he seems to grasp the reason why he made her feel uncomfortable. Look, he obviously is not a part of the VTubing streaming sphere whatsoever. He doesn't understand it at all, and that's perfectly fine. But again, I think he should have read the room a little bit better, especially with the guys around him.
Whoa. Stop.
Maybe 5 years from now, this kid will look back and think, oh shoot, maybe I should have listened to what the guys were saying earlier. Or not. I mean, sometimes people will never learn from their mistakes, and Well, what can you do? Humans will be humans, am I right? And then Ironmouse, I don't know. I don't think anyone is ever going to admit to their own mistakes in this situation. What do I know anyway, right? Anyway, let me know what your own thoughts are in the comment section down below. This is my Threescoopes, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Licky licka. Bye!